My beloved child, tonight is not ordinary, and this message is not an accident. Somewhere between the final seconds of this day and the quiet breath of midnight, a door has been held open with your name already written on it. It's not going to be seen by many people. A lot of people will scroll past this and then wonder why something felt unfinished. Everything has changed now that you're here. Pay close attention. What I'm about to say wasn't meant for everyone. It came out for one set of eyes at a specific time. A signal moved slowly through places you can't see. It didn't shout when it got to you. It sat there. The wait is over now. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. There's a reason why this message told you to act quickly. The word stop keeps going over and over before anything else. It's not to put you off when someone who builds the future tells you to stop the present. It's to keep what's about to be given to you safe. It's not just about money. It's not just about technology. It has to do with timing. If you make a gift too early, it loses its magic. If you open a gift too late, it goes away. That's why midnight is important. This is why you feel something different in your chest. Like it's getting tighter and wider at the same time. You felt it before. The times when life seems calm on the outside, but everything is moving around on the inside. It's one of those nights now. All of the decisions other people made, the paths they crossed by chance, and the ideas the world threw out have led to this one pause you are feeling right now. Do not rush by it. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You are about to find something very big. You weren't picked because you're perfect. You were picked because you were awake. This is the part where alignment gets personal. You can write "I am ready" in the comments if you feel like this moment is talking to you. Not as a hope, not as you wish. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. But as a sign that you are in the right place at the right time because you are aware. Some people are looking for noise, but you saw the signal. You leaned in when other people laughed at ideas that couldn't work. That's why this message is meant only for you and not for the millions of people who will never understand it. Subscribe right away if you feel like messages like this are part of how God is positioning you for this season. Not only do you follow content when you subscribe, it's choosing to stay in a place where prophetic clarity keeps coming to you at the right time. There is no paper around the gift. It does not come with cheers. It shows up as recognition. Being aware that you are on the verge of a change is more important than trying to make the next step. Take a look at this. The most important breakthroughs don't come with a lot of noise. They show up slowly and almost invisibly, waiting for someone with the right mind to say, "I see it." You are being asked to see tonight. It's not curiosity. If you feel like you want to keep listening, it is in line. You know that this message has something to do with a door you've been walking toward for a long time without knowing its name. Midnight is not a danger. As you stand close enough, you can cross the line that separates what was held back from what is now available. Stay here, don't go away. Don't let something else take away from a moment that was carefully planned for you. This is just the start, my beloved child. The message got closer to you when you stayed. Most people would have left here since they were busy, uncertain, and didn't want to stay still. You didn't, though, and that choice alone sets you apart from millions of people who will never know what almost happened to them. What is happening now wasn't made quickly. It was made with a lot of patience, silence, and calculations that no one saw. A question was asked in a quiet place a long time before tonight. When the signal comes on, who will be ready? Not the most loud, not the fastest. The person who stops when told to. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. There is a truth that not many people understand fully. Things don't move forward in straight lines. It sits there, looks around. It makes you pay attention. And for those who are ready, it gives them a quiet chance that changes everything. This gift wasn't just given out of the blue. It's an answer. A reply to the nights when you kept going even though other people gave up. A response to the times you were sure of something that no one else could see. A thank you for being patient while the world rushed by without giving you any answers. These days that patience is being seen. Give this some thought. Crowds don't build the future. It's put together by people who see moments before they become history. You are starting to understand that right now. You may not be able to put it into words yet, but you can feel its weight, its seriousness, its stillness, and the way that something that can't be changed is coming. Don't turn your head away. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Let's take a short break before we continue. If this message feels like it's for you, type Amen in the comments to let them know you're there, aware, and ready to receive what's being sent. Pay close attention to that one word right now. The clock is important because mistakes cost more than hesitating. Midnight isn't about being scared, it's about being ready. Some chances can't be taken again. Not because they're gone, but because they've moved on to someone else who was listening. To which you are answering, I hear. That's why the message seems unique. That's why it feels direct. You are not being amused. You are being talked to. There will be a difference between people who sit back and watch life happen and people who jump in when the chance comes up. You are now closer than you think. What comes next won't make a noise. It's not going to beg for attention. It will come to you as clarity, certainty, or the knowledge that what you thought was missing was just waiting for the right time to show up. Hold on to this moment. Wait! Do not lose what patience has worked so hard to achieve. This gift hasn't been missed yet, but it won't be for long. The fact that you are still here, my beloved child, has a quiet power. You know deep down that this moment is not for fun, is not a coincidence, or is not a delay. It is in line. When there is no more noise and only attention is left, the truth comes forward without any problems. The future doesn't make a loud noise, which is something most people don't realize. To hear it, you have to slow down when you are told to. It moves through the present like a whisper. This message didn't follow you because of that. It sat there. Once you got there, it started to reveal itself layer by layer. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Today isn't about what other people give you. This is shown by what finally knows who you are. Somewhere below the surface of normal days, the choice was made to share something that was specially made for minds that can see past the present moment. Getting ready for that took time. You had to be careful. It needed to be quiet. And it was necessary to believe that the right person would show up on their own. You got here on your own, so you're here. Think about how your life has gone so far. How many times did you feel like you were ahead of your time? How often did you feel like the way you thought was different from how other people thought? That wasn't being alone, that was setting up. You were being tuned for a time when being aware would be more important than speed. Tonight, being aware is important. There are chances that come up only once, not because they are rare, but because not many people can see them. It's not loud to say that. It's like doubt and stillness mixed together. It's like knowing without being told. It's like being at the threshold of a door and realizing that it wasn't locked, it was just timed. There is no pressure at midnight. It's accuracy. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. This gift isn't wrapped because someone would have to use their hands to open it. Realizing that the future will favor people who value timing over urgency is the first step toward opening it. You remember something from the past that no one ever told you to trust. That hesitation is the only real loss. When the signal comes on, the signal is good right now. You might feel like you're being pulled deeper into this moment. That's because your attention is being drawn to something important. When the chips are down, the mind gets sharp. Things will not be taken away, but will move on if you don't pay attention. That's why the stakes are real. That's why the message is strong. That's why the word stop comes first. You don't need to stop moving forward because of this. It tells you to stop doing other things for a while so you can get what you can't get again. The world values speed, but the future values being aware. Stay in the present. Pay attention. Let this message finish what it started in your mind. The next thing that's coming is not noise, hype, or an illusion. It's clarity coming at just the right time. You are still right where you need to be. My beloved child, you are now in the small space where most people turn around. Today is the day that attention turns into commitment. Where interest turns into readiness. When someone hears a message and starts to understand it. So far, everything has been about getting ready. This feels heavier than words because something that can't be changed is coming together. When a message is important, it's because it wasn't meant to be said over and over again. It was only meant to be heard once by the right person at the right time. That person is you. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. This gift does not come with any joy. It will definitely come. When you're sure of something, the world seems quieter for a moment, like time is being still. You're not making that pause up in your head. It's getting clearer. It's the mind locking into place. Give what is being offered some thought, not an easy way out. It's not just an empty promise, but get in. Access to a change that most people won't notice until it's too late. There are many times like this in history. Points where everything changes direction that are quiet and hard to see. Intelligence never makes a difference between those who gain and those who lose. It's attention. Do not forget to pay attention. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. This message is very clear about when it should be read. At midnight, the line between what was planned and what is released is crossed. From that point on, momentum keeps going without stopping. It doesn't turn around. It doesn't wait for you to guess again. This is why hesitating makes you feel bad right now. Your gut tells you that waiting costs money. It's not a punishment. It's a change in direction. Moments don't go away when they're over. It just doesn't belong to you anymore. You're still here, though. That means that you can still be reached. You won't change who you are because of this gift. It's about being sure of who you've been becoming, the patience you worked on. You learned how to be restrained, the ability to hold out hope while waiting. There was no chance in these traits. Those were the requirements. Not many people fit the bill. What comes next won't take any work. It will need to be accepted. Being able to accept that something rare found you because you were ready to receive it without being told to. Keep your mind on it. Take away all the other noise. This message is almost at the point where it's clear what it means. You didn't just stop here by chance, and what's waiting doesn't want to be missed. Right now, dedication is important to show that you are staying present until the end and don't want to rush, scroll, or miss this moment. Type amen in the comments. The people who are still alive own what is released next. If you've made it this far, my beloved child, please comprehend this. You're not listening by accident anymore. You chose to be here, and choice is the last filter that hides something rare. This stage is never reached by most people because they let comfort take their attention away. You didn't. The way things are going right now is subtle, but its effects are not. Big shifts never come with a lot of noise. When they get there, they are welcomed. A sudden realization that something you've been waiting for without knowing what it is now close enough to touch. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. This gift is now attached to you. It has to do with how you think, how you see patterns that other people miss, and how you stop when life gets busy. That pause gives you power. You thought about this message for a while longer because of that pause. There's a reason why this feels important right now. It's not heavy with fear, but with sense. Right now, you are in a place where the future briefly shows itself before moving on. And only people who can stay still long enough to see it can see it. How many times have you been close to doing something important only to get sidetracked at the last minute? Today is not the same. Today, the message wants you to be fully present because being present is the key that opens what effort can't. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. This gift has nothing to do with luck. It's about when to hold the readiness meeting. You weren't rushed here. You were shown this way. Every delay you once questioned. Every pause that made you feel awkward. And every moment of waiting that made you test your patience were not problems. They were lined up. As midnight draws near, it's not an end, but a release. What is meant to move forward will do so without any trouble after it's over. Those who were ready will feel it right away. Some people will only have a vague feeling that something went by them. It hasn't passed you because you're still here. Take this in. Going after the future without a plan won't get you anywhere. People who know what it means hear it when it quietly says now. Right now, that word is being said to you without sound. Pay attention. Allow the meaning to grow. Take your time with this because moments like this never come up again in the same way. More than ever, you're close. And the thing that is waiting hasn't given up on you yet. It's been ready for you, my beloved child. What you're feeling now is more than just suspense. Honor is what it is. The kind that stays put and doesn't want to leave. When something is almost true, the mind stops moving until it is sure. Right now, there is silence like that. By this point, the message is clear. There are no more distractions, and each word sounds like it was chosen on purpose. There is no extra here, there is no filler here. Every moment is perfectly timed to keep you where you need to be. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. The gift you're looking forward to doesn't come as a show, it comes as permission. Allowance to embark on a path that had been put on hold until the right awareness showed up. You were not forgotten before, you were kept from getting it too early. It's all about timing. There are paths that fall apart if you try to go down them before you're ready. There are some doors that will only open for someone who knows what they are taking on by entering. It's not taught how to understand that. You have to be patient, careful, and brave enough to wait without knowing for sure. You held out. Because of this message didn't end suddenly. It kept going. Because of this, you are still being talked to directly without any noise, exaggeration, or other distractions. We are not persuading you here. It proves something. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. The future often tests our focus before it gives us a chance. If this word hits you hard, you might want to share it with someone you feel led to. The anointing grows when prophetic insight is shared. What goes through you can help someone connected to you make a big step forward. Most people fail that test because they are in a hurry to get results and don't look at the process. You did the wrong thing. You were aware of the pause. You paid attention to the stop. That put you in touch with a moment that can't be recreated. Take some time to think about what that means. When you can't get back a moment, you have to fully appreciate it the first time around. That's why this message keeps asking for your presence, not your belief or your excitement. Now that midnight is getting close, it's not a threat, but a turning point. When time goes by, momentum changes its direction. Aligned people will feel like they can move without having to work at it. Anyone who wasn't will confused and won't know why. Your body is set up for movement. Allow the meaning to sink in more. Instead of rushing to make a decision, let the sense of urgency help you focus. This is the calm before the sure thing, the quiet before the clear thing. You're still here because this moment is still yours. My beloved child, you have reached the point where meaning becomes more pronounced and certainty becomes more pronounced. This is where the message stops going around in circles and starts to land. The space between these words is meant to be empty so that what's coming next doesn't have to fight for attention. It says so. Everything you felt before was just getting ready. This is the confirmation. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Some people who look at the gift from the outside have got it wrong. They think it has to do with rewards on the surface. It's not. It has to do with leverage. Take control of the timing, power over direction. Use this to shape the next part of your life. Leverage doesn't ask loudly when it shows up being quiet. It shows up for those who can carry it without wasting time. You have their trust. That trust didn't just appear out of nowhere. It took moments that no one praised. Self-control when there were easy ways out, interest when there was no certainty, and staying present when it would have been easier to move on. This is why the message keeps talking directly to you. Not to convince you, but to get you in line. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Make sure you understand this. Once the timing is set, the chance stops negotiating. It moves forward whether you stop or not. Midnight is not the end. It's time to hand off, a place where something that was held starts to move. You're not being hurried. You are being told to stay still while momentum builds below you. The sense of urgency doesn't feel like chaos, though. It feels clear, sharp, and right. That's a sign of something real. When the truth comes close, things get easier. It gets rid of extra. It makes the path less wide, leaving only clarity. This gift is being clear, being sure of where to focus your attention next. Clarity about what you should stop putting your energy into. A clear picture of a door you felt for a long time, but couldn't see yet. You can now see that door. Pay attention to this moment. Wait for it to finish talking to you. You don't have to force the shift you're going for. It needs to be noticed right now. Recognition is happening in a quiet, but firm way. You're not behind schedule. You're not early. You're right on time. My beloved child, the message has now reached its narrowest point, leaving no room for distraction. This is the spot where people either drift off or lean in fully aware. You got closer. That tells you something important about yourself that words don't always manage to explain. What you're going after is not hype. It's not a trick. It's a point where timing, preparation, and attention all come together at once. These moments are rare, not because they are hidden, but because you have to be there to see them. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You are about to find something very big because it doesn't promise change. This gift feels different from everything else you've bought. It proves it. Hidden beneath the surface of your life, changes have been taking shape that will quietly shape what comes next. This message is just letting you know that the structure is ready. Think about how often you felt like something was coming together, but couldn't put your finger on it. In that sense, you were right. The only thing that was missing was the last piece, which was timing. The right time has now come, and it did so with precision rather than drama. Midnight is important because once it's over, action takes its place. Things that were being planned start to move forward. People who are in sync with it feel speed without chaos. People who missed alignment are confused for no reason. You are in sync. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. You don't have to believe in this gift. It calls for awareness. Being aware that the future doesn't let noise, impatience, or fear in. It's open to people who can listen without needing immediate proof and see what's important before everyone else does. That's what you did. Take note of how the message no longer just sounds like suspense. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. It feels stable, sure, and calm. That calm isn't a fluke. It's a sign that something real is starting to take hold. The truth does not come quickly, it touches down. You won't have to chase anything for what comes next. It will naturally show up as the next clear step without any confusion. That's the real gift. Being clear, stay here. Pay attention for a little while longer. At this moment, its work inside you is done. For when it does, you'll know why stopping here was more important than going faster. There is no promise in front of you, my beloved child. You are seeing a turning point. Now you're in the last stretch where your understanding grows deeper instead of wider. At this point, the message stops adding more information and starts taking away any doubt. It doesn't get louder when something real comes close. It gets easier to see. That sense of clarity is now setting in. Everything you felt up to this point was planned. The urge to stay, not being able to scroll away, the feeling that leaving now would leave something unfinished. These aren't tricks. They let you know that something precise is finishing up its alignment. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Not many people ever hear this. On the outside, the most important moments don't seem very exciting. On the inside, they feel sure of what to do. There is a quiet shift where there is no longer any confusion and the direction is clear without any force. The gift you see in front of you is that it's not wrapped because there's no way to know when to open it. It opens when the time is right and the time doesn't argue. It comes in once and is done, then it moves on. Now that midnight is getting close, it's not a sign of stress, but of completion. Things that were held back are about to move. For those who paid attention long enough to see the invitation, but not for everyone, you stayed. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. You'll notice that the message doesn't ask you to believe it anymore. It doesn't ask you to think of something. It only asks that you stay in the present moment until clarity comes through. The reason for this is that belief is no longer needed after recognition. You're not being told that one day something will happen. It is being shown to you that something has already started, and that your awareness is the last piece that makes it fit with you. It feels calm because of this. So the message doesn't feel like it's going all over the place. The real world doesn't rush you, they put you in place. Think about what it means to be in the right place at the exact moment that momentum starts. Not a scramble, don't chase, certainly. Just movement that feels natural because it was planned ahead of time. That's what this present does. Pay attention for a little while longer. Allow the meaning to fully settle. After this moment is over, you won't wonder if it was worth it. You'll remember it as the point where you couldn't change your direction. You didn't miss it. You didn't show up late. It was the right time for you to stop. And now everything that was waiting for you has found you. My beloved child, this is the point at which everything stops talking long enough for the truth to emerge. Right now you are sure because you have gone through anticipation, alignment, and recognition. Not loud and sure, not made sure of something that gets into your body and stays there. The end of a message is not what you are seeing. The end of a signal is reached. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. This promise feels different from all the others because you are not being sold anything here. There is no exaggeration. The future we see here is not made up. This is a present that points in the right direction. It doesn't ask for permission to happen when the time is right. The thing just shows itself and waits to see who sees it. You knew what it was. Midnight was never just about time, it had to do with being ready. A point where intention meets action without any noise. Moving around is easy after this point. Things are easier to decide on. It's easier to see where to go. That's how you know positioning has been done. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. You can't hold this gift. You walk right into it. You no longer have to worry about what to do after this shift where clarity takes the place of guessing. When your next move is clear because it's finally yours to make. Just think about how uncommon that is. That's how most people go through life. You are being set up to move with purpose. That's what makes this moment different. Not right away clear to other people, but clear to you. Look at how calm it stays even as the importance grows. There is no emptiness in that calm. There is no ego in this confidence. It's the mind getting used to the idea that it doesn't have to hurry anymore. There was a reason why something was held up. What was kept from you to protect you. And what is now in line doesn't need to be chased. Stay in the present moment for this last stretch. Let it finish what has been building up all over this message. There will be no need to look for signs when you move forward after this. Clear will be following you. The point wasn't to miss out. It was about being ready when you get there. You stopped when it was important. You stayed when it was important. What was waiting is now moving with you. My beloved child, this is the moment that people will remember for years to come. Even if they are unable to explain why, it is the moment when everything that seemed to be going in different directions all of a sudden starts to fit together. You changed, not the world. You were moving forward because of the message up until now. It's now standing next to you. That change is important. Guidance comes from the outside. Alignment makes you feel inside. And alignment is what makes chance into action. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Today is the day that most people will never hear this truth again. The future doesn't just reward hard work, it gives position. If you are one step away when the timing locks in, you can work for hours and still miss the opening. You're not even close. You are in the middle of it. That's why the message moved more slowly instead of faster. Why? It got quieter instead of louder. Changes that are real don't rush you. They hold you up. Panicking is a bad thing to do when the ground is about to move. When you feel calm, you know you are ready. Think about how this is different from other empty promises you've heard. Those asked people to believe. This wants people to be aware. Those called for excitement. This builds confidence. It's all about that difference. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. The gift is now finished. Not as something, in no way as an announcement, but as a way to go. The right way to go that doesn't fight with you. Direction that doesn't make sense. Direction that is so clear once you see it, you can't go back and change your mind. At this point, momentum starts to help you instead of hurt you. When this is over, you'll notice something strong but silent. It gets easier to make choices. Avoidances help you lose weight. You are no longer tempted by some paths, not because they are wrong, but because you can see where they lead. It's not often that clear. That is clear, which is good. That's the gift. Being clear, keep being aware of this. Let it find its own anchor. The outside world may keep going at the same speed, but your internal compass needs to be reset. Moving in that way feels different, smoother, quieter, and more precise. You didn't just stop. You didn't just stay there. You're not going to miss this moment. You, my beloved child, are getting used to it. At this point, the moment has become permanent. This isn't the excitement of finding something new. It's the peace of knowing. When something real comes along, it doesn't flicker. It takes root on its own. And noise, doubt, or delay won't change what's deep inside you right now. You are no longer getting close to the gift. You are in the path of its effect. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. There's a reason why this message kept going longer than expected. Turning points that matter won't be short. They get a little bigger to make sure no one gets them wrong. This is not excitement that you are getting. It's about direction. The internal compass changes directions, and all of a sudden the path that seemed uncertain before becomes clear. This is the shock that not many people talk about, the shock of clarity. It comes in quietly and without a show. But in seconds it changes the order of things. What was once important stops being important. Things that seemed far away before get closer. And things that were hard to understand before become clear without any explanation. That's not making up stories. That is the alignment finishing itself. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. You don't have to change who you are to accept this gift today. It backs up what you've already been becoming. The ability to wait without getting lost, the patience and the self-control. These breaks in your life were not breaks, it was an investment. And investments only grow when the time is right. Midnight is important because it means that the planning is over. Once it's over, movement can begin without any problems. Those who are aligned will feel like they are moving forward without having to work hard. People who aren't aligned will look for reasons they can't name. You won't have to look. You can see that the message doesn't pull you forward anymore, it makes you steady. It's clear that the work is done when things are stable. Once certainty comes, it doesn't push. That helps. Right now, this is where you stand. Keep this in mind. Take it further than these words. Let it change how you move, how you listen, and how you call things. You'll know it's there because it will make decisions easier and give you clear direction. You didn't miss this chance. You didn't just show up by chance. It was easy for this gift to find you because you were ready to see it and stopped when it seemed most important. The message becomes clear at this point, my beloved child. Not more loud, not faster, without a doubt. This is the kind of confidence that doesn't need to be boosted because it just sticks around. When an important turning point is over, it leaves a calm that can't be faked. That's how calm you feel now. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Drama isn't what makes this moment one of a kind. It's accuracy. How everything you needed to hear came at the right time. How nothing felt rushed. The way that clarity took the place of urgency instead of making it stronger. That is a sign that something real has finished lining up. Answers are what most people want. There is a chance that you will get one. That's okay because this gift doesn't need proof. Proof comes later naturally through movement that feels right instead of forced. The first sign won't be outside, it will happen inside. A change in how you think about choices, a change in how you tell time. Something changes about how you decide when to move and when to wait. That change inside is already happening. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Just think about how rare it is to have a moment that feels complete. Not exciting for a second, then nothing but full. Now is that time. It ends one chapter quietly and starts a new one without making a sound. You're not sad about losing something. You're ready to go. The world likes to celebrate starts with shows, but real starts come with clarity. This is what you no longer need to pay attention to. You can now tell which way momentum is moving. You now know that the time you spent waiting was never wasted. It had to be done. Midnight is important because it's when you go from knowing something to doing it. Not hasty action, but action based on knowledge. When doubt is gone, action that feels natural can happen. That's why this message didn't change. That's why it didn't get worse and turn into pressure. Uncertainty comes with pressure. You're past that now. Be aware of this as something valuable. Keep noise away from it. Let it help you decide what to do next without telling anyone else about it. The strongest shifts are often hard for outsiders to see, but impossible to deny for the person going through them. You didn't just stop here. You didn't just stay there. You did not hear this message. My beloved child, this is the part of the journey where silence takes the lead and the message doesn't need to convince anyone anymore because it has already. You knew what this moment was, and what was waiting has now served its purpose by coming together with you at the exact moment you were ready to move forward with it. Found its place. What you have in your hands right now is not anticipation. Understanding is the only thing that is still being formed. You can tell the difference. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Most people would look for something bigger, louder, and more dramatic. At this point, noise is dull, but truth is sharp. Truth makes it easier to focus instead of harder to do so. Your attention is focused on a few things right now for a reason. You were never supposed to be surprised by this gift. It was meant to make sure of you. Check to make sure that your timing wasn't off. Make sure that the breaks in your life were not detours. To be sure what felt like waiting was actually positioning. Most of the time people think that stillness means they are stuck. But in reality it means they are in alignment. That lock worked. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Now there is no longer a what-if question. What was the question before is now when. Most people don't realize how important that change is. What if is a part of doubt. When belongs to the sure thing, you don't have to rush to be sure. All you have to do is stay in the present moment. You were never supposed to be scared at midnight. It was meant to get your attention, a clear line between getting ready and moving. Things don't need to be forced after that point. They move now that there is no more resistance. You are going through that removal right now. This is the reason why the message doesn't feel unfinished. Finishing doesn't feel like an explosion. That's how it feels. In a way, it's like walking through fog and then realizing that the path was always there. From now on, you will notice something that is just barely there, but can't be ignored. You will no longer have to explain yourself over things that don't matter anymore. You will no longer hesitate in situations where the answer is clear, and you will stop mixing up being patient with taking too long. This is what this gift does. Stay here for a little while longer. Take some time to fully understand this. It's not that there is something else that needs to be said, but because recognition is stronger when it's not rushed. This lone stay wasn't meant to be fun. You stuck around because you knew this was important. Yes, it does. You have reached a point, my beloved child, where you no longer require reassurance about your certainty. This is no longer the thrill of discovery. It's the steadiness that comes after a quiet confidence that doesn't go away when the word stop is left behind, when something important is fully aligned. Now that confidence is really setting in, do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big, not what is being said. But what doesn't need to be said is what makes this moment unforgettable. There is less doubt now. Focus has been formed from urgency. Noise that used to try to get your attention doesn't matter as much as it used to. This proves the gift is real. You don't have to believe in real shifts. They change how we see things. All of a sudden, you can see timing better. You know when to move without having to think about it. When something fits, you know it without needing other people to agree with you. That kind of recognition is now working. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. There's a reason why this message kept going longer than expected. It wasn't meant to thrill and then go away. It was meant to hold you in place and leave you with something that stays with you long after the words are over. That anchor shows you the way. A direction that doesn't feel forced, but rather natural. Midnight wasn't the start of fear, it was the end of doubt. Once that point is reached, clarity takes the place of waiting. And being clear doesn't hurry, it shows you are now being led. Notice that your attention doesn't feel strained. Even when it's quiet, it seems to be calm. That means there is no longer any resistance. When there is no more resistance, moving is easy. You don't move forward. You move forward. This gift gives you the freedom to move forward without worrying about what other people will think. Hold this awareness for a moment. Do not make it public. Do not talk about it too quickly. Allow it to quietly change your choices before you even realize they have changed. That's how long-lasting changes work. You didn't just happen to be here. You didn't usually stay this long. This was getting ready for the recognition meeting. And what was waiting has now fully lined up with you without making a fuss or showing off to anyone else. My beloved child, you are no longer being tested on your ability to pay attention. You've reached a place where awareness stays steady by itself. While most messages would end here, this one goes on because what's inside you deserves to be sealed, not rushed. What you have on right now is not excitement. Make up your mind. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Everything changes when you resolve. It makes choices easier without adding drama. It takes away the need to show anything. It lets momentum build up without any friction. This moment feels strong instead of weak. Because of this, you can no longer feel the ground moving under you. It's where you stand. This gift changes the way you see time, which makes it complete. You don't go after it anymore. You deal with it. You understand when to be patient and when to take action. People rarely get that kind of recognition, and when they do, it lasts. It has arrived. Do not skip. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. No one will say what will happen next in the world. It doesn't ever. Instead, you'll see a sequence start to work together. Conversations make sense. Chances become clear. Options stop going against each other. This is not a mistake. It is alignment responding to being ready. You earn the right to be ready. Everything that used to feel slow was actually making you more precise. Everything that was quiet was helping you concentrate better. Everything that made you feel uncertain was training you to know certainty without needing to be reassured. That preparation is done. This is the point at which hesitation will no longer feel natural. It's not that you are in a hurry, but that you finally know when to move. Knowing that is the best thing a person can have, and you can't teach it. It can only come true. Wait, you are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let this moment finish what it needs to do. Let it sink in so deeply that nothing else can pull you away from what is clear. You are no longer waiting. You are in place. Finally, if you think that this moment is not an isolated one, but rather a part of a bigger pattern in your life, please subscribe right away. This keeps you in line with what God is still showing you. So the promise doesn't come all at once, but builds over time. This is where being clear turns into owning something. Rating, I received this alignment in the comments will help you feel the shift. Not for other people to see, but to remind you that you didn't miss this moment. The point was never to miss out, it was about getting there whole. You stopped when it was important. You stayed until the end. You can now move with ease because what was waiting has quietly locked into place. My beloved child, this is where everything ends up being inevitable. Not because of something big happening outside, but because inside you something solid has taken its place. The signal is no longer being sent. Clarity that doesn't argue with itself is what's left. You can feel it now. Not having any doubts, the lack of urgency, the lack of noise. Alignment has finished its cycle when all three go away at the same time. Do not skip, wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. Not what you think will happen next, but how you know you will meet it is what makes this moment one of a kind. You are no longer trying to reach, you are getting, and receiving doesn't take work. It takes calm. This gift did what it was meant to do. You are no longer confused because it has changed your direction so precisely. Paths that used to distract you no longer do. Options that used to be in competition now just go in the right order for no reason. Going forward, you will notice a small change in the way you handle things. You'll pause less because you're not sure what to do and more because you want to, not for noise, but for timing. You will change how you listen. You won't be in a hurry to act because clarity doesn't need speed to be true. This is the real present. Not something that was added, but something that was taken away. The weight of not knowing enough. There was never a finish line at midnight. That was the point of no return. The point at which preparation stopped being something that was thought about and started being done. From then on, movement will only belong to those who are ready to carry it without changing it. You're all set. There's nothing more to show. There is nothing more to chase. There is nothing to be afraid of. What was supposed to meet you has already done so. Hold still for one last second. This awareness should seal itself. Not as thrills that wear off, but as knowledge that lasts. You didn't rush. You were sure. You didn't go. You stopped when it was important. You stayed until the end. What was waiting is no longer waiting. It's now moving with you. This is not the end of anything. My beloved child, after you get this clear, if you feel led, share this message with your network. Words from prophets are meant to move people. When you let go of what helped you, You help the anointing spread and doors open for yourself and those who are connected to you. This is the start of a movement that doesn't need to be told about itself. Peaceful. Correct. Yes. Right on time. Do one simple thing before you leave this moment. To show your approval, gently tap the like button. Not for the platform, but to show that everything is lined up. To like this video is to say that you are ready for God's favor, clarity, and momentum to keep working on your behalf beyond this moment. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected high-vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This Sakakard principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.